Do you people think that you know everything about project management? Rethink about it because even the company like IBM, only 40% of their projects are successful. So what's 60%? In 60%, they learn how to improve and update your process. So in this video, we are gonna do the case study of few of the global catastrophic failures of the major company. And at the end, we will see what are the common failure reasons. We're not gonna tell you how you can improve. We are just going to tell you the failure reasons of those global failures so that you can learn by yourself. So first of them is this Sony. Sony launched Betamax in mid 1970s, and it was like they were way ahead of their market, of their competition, and their strength was they were innovative, and as I said, they were ahead of the market. But it lost the battle for market share to JVC VHS technology. Why did it lose? Or the lesson we learned? So basically it lose because of the failed marketing effort. The project management was not running full cycle there. See, and the purpose of the project management is not only to put the project out in the market, but it is also to keep taking customer feedback from time to time, to keep sensing the pulse of the people who are using it and what are their new temptations. So project management here was not running the full cycle, and that's why Sony lost this battle. Another company, very famous company, Coke, they launched a Coca-Cola in year 1985. Mind you, they launched it after testing the recipe on around 2 lakh subjects. So their strength was the recipe was well researched, strong brand, strong market research was done, and it sounds like a fail-safe stuff that this product will not fail. But think about it. It failed. It failed catastrophically. This project and this new brand of Coke, it actually costed $4 million for the company to develop it, and it resulted in the loss of $30 million in backstocked. So basically, what was the reason? The company did not gauge the customers' motivation while they were purchasing the drink or the other drinks of the company, and project management team failed to gather the comprehensive customer insight data. See, suppose for example, if you're a customer of a certain company, there are reasons you are, there are motivations to be the customer for that company, but and the project management team needs to understand before actually coming with the new product. Though the product can be good, but then are the customers motivated to purchase that product is a question. It became of one of the most famous failed project case studies in history. The other one is McDonald, Apache Deluxe, they launched in year 1996. And as you see, McDonald, it should have been, clear-cut success. They pumped around $150 million into the advertisement, and they had an amazing, strong brand. So what could go wrong? So, and they came up with a very new, sophisticated menu. But what went wrong? That the customer data was grossly missing. Though it felt like they have pumped so many thing into so many million into advertisement, they had a strong brand, but and they have got a new sophisticated recipe. But was the customer looking for sophisticated recipes at that time? Maybe not. And so the project management team might not have the data of the customer choice metrics, that what is driving the customer's choice of shopping, of going and eating at McDonald's. So they just thought, let's come up with a new recipe, pump the money in the millions, and go with it. But it grossly backfired to them because they failed to read the mood or the taste motivations of the customer. Another one is like Lisa, launched by Apple in 1983. Apple, how anything can even go wrong? But then, as it happens, market is turbulent. So what was the strength of this product? It was the first desktop with the mouse. Strong brand, and trust me, mouse is an interesting add-on any product of Apple. In the year we are talking about 1983, it was well advertised by Kevin Costner, one of the famous personality of the time. But then what went wrong? The people were not happy with the product feature. It looked like that Apple overpromised and underdelivered. So even in 1983, the customers were aware, and the customer actually punished Apple because it looks like the Apple was not transparent about the feature. They overpromised it, and the project management team just took the customer probably for granted. They didn't focus on the transparency part. The first, and this product was costing around $10,000, which is around, as of today's 24,000 USD. and it had just 1 MB of RAM. So though it was having a mouse as a strength, but then it was lacking in the speed, random access memory, and maybe Apple was not transparent with that for their customer. Then comes a famous company, Ford, launched Edsel in 1957 by Ford. Nothing could go wrong. It's Ford. What can go wrong, man? This car has the company did an extensive market research. Car taste was based on the customers' liking of the car models at the time, and a strong brand. But then what went wrong for this company? So what went wrong? That by the time the car was unveiled in 1957, the people had moved on. The people moved on from such type of masculine cars to the more compact ones, and they were not going back to the Ford Edsel. So the product was amazing. It was based on a good market research. It was based on the customer taste, but then the project velocity was poor. So another case that you have to maintain a good project velocity no matter how strong of a brand you are. So what do we learn? What are those common indicators that we learn from all these interesting failures? So first of all, low interest. How do I identify low interest? For example, people have stopped showing up in the meetings. Stakeholders have stopped participating or giving timely feedback. Task is getting stopped, are not completing on time. This means the project is flagging. The people are not showing the interest, and when the project is flagging, the communication will suffer, and when the communication will suffer, overall quality of the product will suffer. And at the end of the day, how good your market research is does not matter because the end execution is not right. Then what is the other indicator? Poor communication. It means the project lead is not communicating changes to the rest of the team. When communications do go out, they are either late or inaccurate, and in both of the situation, you are in for the losses. Other indicator is lack of velocity, like we saw in the case of Ford Edsel. Assignments are long past due, stalled on the approval from elusive stakeholders. Maybe team members are spending more and more time on an other project. At any rate, contrary to your best project completion dates, your project has come to a full stop. So basically, we do take tolerance in doing the project management and the program management, but that tolerance limit has to be decided rationally. You just cannot say we have the tolerance of 15% to the entire scope. Nope. It cannot be more than 10 or 15% in most of the situation, especially in the world which is developing so fast right now. And the last is scope creep. The project starts to barely resemble the requirement as they were given at its outset. Timelines have stretched beyond the original project plan. The phases have changed. There's a phrase, you know what would be really cool? Would be if we add shit is uttered during the review and approval phase. The scope creep still remains a problem, and a smart project manager has to, find a way to solve the scope creep. Otherwise, it will again falter your end product. So guys, thank you for watching this. Put on your comments if this video has helped you. The only purpose was to tell you few of the common indicators that why projects fail.